recently I've been trying to get Mondays off as a dedicated day for just rest. No YouTube stuff, no Twitch stuff, just rest. So Sunday night I took the opportunity to start God of High School, and I heard all things about it, trailers everywhere, people telling me, or not people, but I've seen that it's really beautifully animated and stuff. So, and that was back when it was coming out. I went into it and I realized that people's perception or people's opinion on God of High School is a little bit different, and people are kind of on the fence about it after they watched it. So I went ahead and I took it upon myself to just watch it because, you know, I like fighting and I like fight anime. I like cool fight scenes and stuff. I'm like, okay, I heard this anime is full of those things. And I kind of want to do this dedicated thing where I talk about anime that I've seen and post it on YouTube, or just do like this mini review type of thing. I won't be going into full detail, but I'll be just giving you my thoughts raw, unedited and such. I'm going to be talking about God of High School, and I'm going to be talking about what I thought about it in general. So here is what I thought about God of High School. So like I said, I had never read the web comic because that's what it was based off. I think it's a Korean web comic, if I'm not mistaken. So basically what it's about, just these high schoolers go to this tournament. Nothing else has been explained about this world, just the fact that it's in Korea, and they hold this tournament called the God of High School, and it's basically just a huge tournament anime. That's what it is, which I personally love. It's one of my guilty pleasures. I love tournament like arcs, and I love tournament anime. I don't know, it's just something about it. It's just, I think it's the fighting game connoisseur inside of me. Basically that's what all it is, and we get introduced to our main characters, we get introduced to a bunch of side characters, villains, important characters, powerful characters, and all sorts of stuff, you know. But the three main characters, I'll say this, I didn't really resonate with any of the characters. I didn't like, oh my god, that's so cool. The only one that probably I did feel that the closest to is the main character, Jin Mori. That's the closest one that I'm like, okay, I like him. So anyways, yeah, he's kind of like the main character. He's the guy that, well, I'm thinking, oh, this guy's the Goku of the show. Like, this guy is the guy. All right. When I first started, I'm like, yep, this guy's the guy. And the first 3 episodes of this show was actually sick. I really liked the first 3 episodes, how they introduce all the characters, you know, when it comes to the grandpa and when it comes to Jin Mori himself and the Taekwondo. If you guys don't know, Taekwondo is my favorite form of martial arts, right next to Wing Chun. So the fact that him, Jin Mori, and his grandpa, who's like the almighty Taekwondo master, like, oh my god, like, this guy's ridiculous. I'll explain why in a little bit, but I like that a lot. I like the fact that the other 2 main characters, the girl is like this kendo girl who uses the sword and stuff, and how they introduced her was kind of charming, kind of cool. Oh my god, she loves muscles and stuff. And the guy, he's fighting for his friend, and he knows karate mostly. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool, actually. I like it. But then after the first couple of episodes, you start to see why people have a gripe with this show. Number 1, the very weird filler type episode that happens in the midst of everything, where it literally doesn't do anything for the show. So you get to that point and then you're like, what the hell? What was the point of that? And I know that they have to establish some sort of friendship. It's basically an episode about, you know, the main girl has to get married so she can actually use the guy to be able to promote her father's dojo, which she has inherited, and she needs to revitalize and stuff. So instead of actually using the God of High School formula with the tournament, which she's already in, she decides to get married instead. It's like, it's so stupid. So anyways, that episode was really stupid because it's split up into 2 sections. There's the first 6 episodes and the last 6 episodes. The first 6 is basically the preliminaries arc, where it's like the qualifiers to get into the actual God of High School, which I don't mind. I think that's pretty cool. That whole thing, the first 3 episodes was great. After that, oh my god, that was an absolute mess. I could not believe how bad they handled that. I did not know at all what to do, what to think. Everything was all over the place. You got fights happening in the span of 2 seconds and just completely deciding, oh, I guess he lost. And let me tell you something. This show has some beautifully animated sequences. Beautifully animated sequences. There's some moments in the show that I'm like, oh my God, that's so sick. Like, you know, the Tai Chi guy? The Tai Chi guy was doing some really cool stuff. Freaking, ooh, it was really cool. And some of the Taekwondo sequences, too, was super sick. But then there's some other sequences where it's just like the worst animated sequence I've ever seen. Like, what? This is the same show? Dude, it was just a couple episodes ago where I was like creaming my pants over these crazy cool animations. I digress. After the preliminaries happen, basically, you know, all the main heroes have to face off against each other because, you know, there can only be one person that advances to the God of High School tournament. So it comes to the time where Mori has to fight against, Daiwa, I think it's his name, Daiwa, which is the karate guy. And then the karate guy has to face against the girl, but the girl was injured before she entered the match. So he and something happened with him. It was a freaking mess, dude, because the whole point of Daiwa and his whole character arc is he's fighting in the tournament to fight for his friend's surgery. He needs the money. And by the way, if you win this God of High School, you get any wish granted. So yeah, he wanted to fight for his friend, which is adorable. It's touching and such. But it was very poorly done. Anyways, at the end of the day, it doesn't even freaking matter who wins, who loses in the preliminaries, because at the end of the day, they decide to make a last-minute change and be like, hey, guess what? Remember that one rule where you have to get one person to go to the God of High School? We're changing it, and we're going to go through a 3v3 format. 3v3 format, which means that the three friends are a team now. So none of that even freaking mattered. Nothing mattered in the first, 6 episodes, other than maybe establishing freaking Park Moojin, which is actually kind of a cool character. I really do like Park Moojin. Last couple episodes, freaking, dude, shit goes off the rails. It goes off the rails. We're no longer dealing with high schools anymore. We're dealing with gods. Like, the first, it should have been God. It should have been High School of God. That's what it should have been, because that's what it was. The first 6 was just high school. The last couple episodes was just God, because that's what it is. Then they find out after, when they get to the God of the High School tournament, that everybody's got this secret technique, magical mantra, chi power that they can manifest, and some of them can even manifest stands, and whether it be like a freaking Grim Reaper or like ancient heroes like Labu or like, you know what I'm saying? It's like crazy crap, all right? And then the whole point of the whole freaking show is, or the whole freaking tournament, is to find this key. Why do you want to find the key? Well, you want to find the key because there is the people that are running the tournament, which is, I guess, the good guys is what we're trying to say. We don't even know if they're good guys or not, but they're the people that we follow mostly. Then there's the bad guys, which is the Nox, who wants to kill freaking the Earth. They want to destroy the planet in the name of God. That's what it is. It's just a religious cult that's just like, oh my God, humanity sucks. And they're also using God's powers for their own selfish ways, which is basically the magical chakra energy I'm talking about. So anyways, this religious cult is pissed off at people that they can use this magical chakra because they can borrow the gods' powers and yada, yada, yada. It's a freaking mess. What they wanted, the people that we're following, the God of High School people, what they want to do is they basically want to destroy God, I guess, or basically break a taboo, which is essentially no gods, weakened humanity reigns, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's just very confusing, but I got it. I got it in the end. It's just hard to portray everything. But if you want to know more about it, watch the show at your own discretion. You got Jin Mori trying to find his grandpa, and apparently his grandpa is legit the most badass mother fifer to ever walk planet Earth, and he dropped him off as like a kid. He's like, oh, there's bad guys following me, so I'm gonna leave you here, go to school, be a regular boy, and then maybe when you grow up and grow strong, we can be together. So basically that's Jin Mori's whole motivation to get stronger, so he can be with his grandpa, and his grandpa's legit like I'm talking, yeah, like Heihachi levels of ridiculous, all right? So anyways, and his grandpa is like the only one that has defeated a group called the Six. And the Six are basically 6 super badasses filled with crazy godlike powers. And one of them is Park Mujin, which is running the entire high school and such. And the other one is missing an arm. The other one, it's the Six is six individuals who are basically badasses. And his grandpa, Jin Mori's grandpa, is the only one that's been able to defeat all 6 of them. I mean, this guy's a major badass. Then they start introducing other characters into the mix, like this crazy shark guy. Who has like the stand of a shark, which I actually really liked. All right, his power, there's some really cool looking powers here. He can summon the shark sometimes and completely just obliterate them, or he can summon shark teeth and throw them at people, or he can make them spawn on the enemy so they can stab them. It's kind of a cool power, the whole shark. So that's pretty cool. Then they introduce this other guy called Ipyo, Park Ipyo, which is actually kind of a cool character. This probably my favorite character that's not a main character. So the entire show, probably my favorite has to be either Park Mujin or Park Ipyo. And he's basically a guy. He's a guy who came into the God of High School wanting to fight Jin Mori because back when they were a kid, the grandpa visited this Park Ipyo kid to give him a book. And apparently his grandpa and Jin Mori's grandpa were like super homies, and Jin Mori's grandpa is wanting to give him a book with all the secrets to his grandpa's teachings, which passed away. Gave it to him. He's like, cool. Oh, okay. And I look up to Jin Mori's grandpa too. And then Jin Mori's grandpa also introduced him to Jin Mori when he was a baby. Basically, they met when they were babies, yada, yada, yada. Essentially, he's just like this really like big brother figure with some real badass martial arts. He does Taekyo, I think Taekyo. I think that's the martial arts he practices, which is like a really crazy, weird, barefooted style martial arts. At the end of the day, they go through the entire tournament. A bunch of crap happens. None of it really matters. Jin Mori and this Park Ipyo guy fight. All right, that's the main. People are like, oh, we gotta watch this fight. This is the fight that we've been building up to, essentially. So they fight. We find out that Park Ipyo, he has the key. He has this weird, crazy 9-tailed fox. Yeah, the QB. Yeah, Naruto. He's got Naruto inside of him. And what the key is basically the god inside of Park Ipyo that can overthrow heaven. And back in the day, back in ancient times. So the whole point of the show is to find the key. To find the key is to overthrow the gods. All right? This kid, or this big brother figure, is the key. He's got the key. He has the power to overthrow the heavens. He's got the god inside of him. So his weird chakra, mantra, chi stuff, the magical stuff, his power is basically a god that can overtake heaven, or that can destroy heaven. So yeah, they fight against each other. At this point, I'm like, dude, Jin Mori, he's cool. He's got cool powers, but there's no way in hell that freaking Jin Mori can. This is Naruto, dude. This is the Hokage, basically. Like, how are you gonna beat up this guy? This guy can freaking overthrow heaven. That's just when we find out that Jin Mori actually has other hidden powers. Out of left field, this dude turns like Ultra Instinct, summons something. I don't know what. It was a big old hand. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? Long story short, Jin Mori has a power inside of him that's super OP. And he ends up beating Park Ipyo. Yeah, he ends up beating Naruto. And I'm just like, what the hell was that? Oh, he just had this crazy power inside of him. Okay, cool. Sounds good. So then after that, shit hits the absolute crazy fan. All right, it hits the fan. There's this other kid that got beat up and he's in the hospital and he got affected with like god powers. He turns into a demon. It's a mess, dude. It's a freaking mess. And we don't know why that happened. He just all of a sudden started acting like a demon. It started absorbing all these people. So they had to kill this kid. But then one of the bad guys, the shark guy, who's the bad guy, now we know he's the bad guy. He wants the key as well because he's been called a loser all his life. And he doesn't want to be a loser. That's it. So Shark Guy doesn't want to be a loser. So he's like, you know what? I'll just become a god and not become a loser. Sweet. By the way, he borrowed the power of like a demon or something from the cult leader. the Nox. So anyways, he got stronger and he got this demon crap inside of him. There's no more sharks. Sharks are gone. It's all demons now. They got these crazy, weird, rabid demons that he can spawn and he can control. Like these stands are demons. It's freaking weird. So then, when that happens, they're in the hospital. Park Ipio, or the big brother figure, is recovering. And then this all happens inside the hospital. All right. Shark guy comes in, kills the demon guy. All right. I won't get into the nitty gritty with like the girlfriend and the sister and the missing leg and stuff. Don't worry about that. All right. None of that matters. None of that matters. The shark guy comes in, kills the demon guy. He kind of nicked his girlfriend in the leg. When I say nicked, it means like, kind of chewed the entire thing off. Big brother figure's like, oh my God, how dare you? She can never do martial arts again. So they get in a fight. And in the middle of the fight, somehow the key physically comes out of him. Yes, the key is a physical a physical thing. It's not a god. It's a physical thing. And then it gets explained that he's the guardian of the key. So that's what the fox is for. He's the guardian of the key. So anyways, yeah, it's a physical thing. All in the meantime, by the way, this is not even the half of it. All in the meantime, the cult decide to show up in the city in the middle of the God of High School tournament, all right, and summon God. So they summon God, and this thing is like a freaking Buddha statue going like this. Going straight down to the earth. Going straight down. It's about to annihilate the earth. I'm not kidding you. It's basically gonna dorime the entire earth. Exactly. While that whole thing is happening, the commissioner of the tournaments, they're all badasses. There's like 7 of them. They're all badasses. They're trying to do crowd control and trying to kill all the monsters that the cult has summoned. And this freaking, the leader of the cult is summoning God. And then the leader of the commission, or the leader of the God of High School tournaments, is stopping it. Park Mujin. He's stopping it. They called God. They're gonna destroy the earth. All in the meantime, this shark guy and this QB guy are fighting, and everything is dark. Everything is freaking chaos. The key comes out. Everyone's like, oh my God, that's the key. I need that key. The commissioners want the key to overthrow God. The cult wants the key so they can destroy the earth, basically. All of a sudden, the commissioner of the whole entire tournament teleports everybody to a holy realm because they're like, all right, shit's about to hit the fan. We need to protect these kids. So he teleports them to a holy land. All right. Okay, fine. They're safe, right? No, because Shark Guy is also there and he still wants to get the key. So Shark Guy is just causing havoc, freaking beating up friends, beat up on the girl, the kendo girl, and the karate guy. Oh, and another thing. Wait, side moment. Let's take quiet on just real quick. Pause. There was a guy in the tournament that they did, that said that he did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I was so pissed because I was not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That was capoeira. They're like, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fanatic, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu master, this guy, Baek, whatever the crap his name is. It's not freaking Jiu-Jitsu. That was capoeira. Unpause. So anyways, while in this holy land, everyone's fighting. Well, not everyone's fighting, but everyone's trying to fight this shark guy because he wants the key and he's obsessed with getting this key because he doesn't want to be a loser. You know what I mean? So he doesn't want to be a loser. He wants to get the key. Finally, Jin Mori ends up with the key because QB boy, big brother figure, is like, you can't let shark guy get the key. You can't. If he gets a hold of the key, bad things are going to happen. He's like, okay, I won't let him get the key. Things happen. While they're in the Holy Land, they're fighting. Jin Mori and the shark guy are fighting. Over in the real world, they're trying to freaking, oh my God, Jesus Christ, God is coming. All of a sudden, while everyone's fighting off, trying to do crowd control, everyone's like, oh my God, we're all going to die. Yeah, oh my God. The police are like, there's no more room in the shelters. What are we going to do? All of a sudden, this guy with a top hat shows up. With his magical wand. All of a sudden, everyone disappears. Like, what the hell? Everyone in the city teleports outside the city. I'm talking like miles, hundreds and hundreds of miles. They can still see the god just still there. Just like that. They can see the freaking god, Dorime, everything. There's a shield up because the commissioner has a shield up. And remember when I said the 6, that group of crazy people? The 6, one of them is a super badass. He's literally like a dude that has a ton of weapons and he can create weird magical weird things. So just to give you like a freaking, this guy literally goes, play my beats. He's like, and then all of a sudden, the dude starts launching launchers and guns and spears and bows and arrows at this crazy magical circle. And what that does, it's preventing God. It's still there. Just like, so this guy creates a shield that's preventing God from destroying the planet. So when that happened, this guy's doing that, all right? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to mention, while all this is happening, America all of a sudden gets this idea of saying, maybe we should nuke Korea. All right, let's do it. So they send like hundreds of nuclear missiles to Korea. They're like, nuke it, screw it. Just nuke it to hell. So they're like sending all these nukes. So everyone's like, God's coming. These guys are fighting for the key in the Holy Land. This magician all of a sudden teleported everybody to a magical land outside of the city. Freaking God is still coming like this. It's a shit show. So anyways, that happened. This magician shows up, which is one of the 6. He's one of the 6, and he teleports everybody out of there. And this magician guy, one of the 6, is actually the grandfather of one of the contestants. Actually, the contestant that turned into a demon and started absorbing a ton of people from earlier. He's like, I will avenge my son, my grandchild. I will avenge my grandchild. So he's like, Wingardium Leviosa. Teleports everybody out of there. After that, he takes the nuclear bombs and he creates this weird facial statue thing out of all the nuclear bombs. And he directs it towards God. And the freaking cult leader's like, oh my God, no, don't do it. Don't do it. And freaking blows the entire city to hell. The entire city, just boom, nuked. All right. God's dead. All right. The cult leader's still like in shock. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's in shock. He's like, oh my God, that just happened. I failed. The magician dies, unfortunately, because he's like, I will avenge my grandson, and I'll take you with me. So he teleported every living being outside the city, nuked the city. All while that happened, when they nuked the city, the spell broke, and everybody came back from the Holy Land. Jin Mori, the friends, the shark guy, Ipio, everybody came back. And they came back to this freaking wasteland, but all they see is God on the ground, like this. Just on the ground, dead. Anyways, that's happening. But this is the final episode. All of a sudden, this shark guy gets a hold of the key. He has it. He has the key now. And he ingests it. And he freaking gives it to this demon or whatever. And he becomes a freaking god. Shark boy, shark guy becomes a god. He's just like this holy being. Third eye's open. He's got wings. He can shoot out laser beams out his asshole. He's freaking a god. This guy's a god. All right?
First he became a freaking baby for like half a second.
All right, yeah, I forgot about that. When he ingested the key, he became a baby for like half a second. Baby ass was showing like, wah, freaking baby ass everywhere. And he grew up into a god. In the span of like 20 seconds, he went from baby to god. All right? Everyone's getting their ass kicked. All right? Finally, remember that weird hidden power that Jin Mori had when he was fighting against Naruto? The one that kicked his ass? Oh, it shows up again. He's like, oh my God, everyone's dying. It shows up. The magical, weird, ultra instinct power. This dude, Jin Mori, this is actually one of the cooler things about the show because I do like this. All right? I'm a big fan. Jin Mori is actually a god. All right? He is actually, you know how all these people were borrowing powers from gods and stuff? No. This guy is a legit god. He is the Monkey King. The Monkey Son Goku, basically. He's the guy that overthrows God, all right? All of a sudden, he gets this flash. Yeah, Son Wukong. So all of a sudden, he gets this weird, his eyes flash blue. A ginormous pole shows up out of nowhere. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm actually a god. And he's like, gets this pole. And it's basically Goku's pole from original Dragon Ball. It's freaking, and power pole extended. Yeah, power pole. He's got a power pole. Okay, I will say this. This whole entire show has been a complete mess. All right? But I do like the Monkey King, and I do like Sun Wukong, and I like everything to do with like Journey to the West. I'm a big fan. Cool, makes sense. Everyone's borrowing their powers. He's actually a god, all right? That's his power. Takes down God. He's basically, he doesn't remember everything from his past. It ends up with that. It ends up with a bunch of construction being done on Seoul because it's basically gone. So they start construction again. And then they find out that, and then of course, technically speaking, the three... So the three characters who were on a team, they won the God of High School, technically speaking. So the character comes out of nowhere, which is the character that grants the wish. She comes out. She's like, I've been asleep for hundreds of years. I'm awake now. I was supposed to be woken up a couple weeks later, but I'm grumpy. I'm grouchy. What the hell is your wish? And it's like, oh, okay. Everybody who has been hurt, make them unhurt. So that's his wish. That's the entire wish. And the thing is, I didn't explain it, but like people have lost limbs. People have lost legs. People have like broken their feet. It gets crazy. So anyways, he's like, yeah, can we just have people not have limbs and have their actual feet back or their arms back? She's like, okay, sure. And it's done. That's it. Oh, in the meantime, apparently Jin Mori's grandpa's been kidnapped, by the way, and he's trying to find him. I'm not saying that I explained that well. I'm not saying that I explained everything, because there's definitely some details I missed. But that's the general gist of God of High School. I did not know what the hell I was getting into. I didn't know it was literal gods. I thought it was literally a tournament arc. And it was for the meantime. For the most part, it was. It's a good watch if you don't care. The one I couldn't get over is the freaking god just Dorime. Oh, just on top, dude.